welcome back to my channel. It's Cami. So for today's video, I wanted to do my June favorites. I cannot believe this year is halfway over now. I felt like this year was slow, especially when quarantine hit, but now it's kind of speeding up and I'm like, where is everything going? And July is actually my birthday month, so I'm really excited with everything going on. I actually haven't thought about my birthday at all. So it's really weird to say that, you know, now I'm doing my June favorites and now we're going into July. So if you'd like to see what I've been loving, because I haven't posted a favorites video in a long time, so I do have quite a few things here. So if you want to see that, just keep watching. I thought that it would be best to go in order of how I apply my makeup. So first up, we have the Wet n Wild Primer Serum, and this is the hydrating one. I have absolutely been loving this stuff. It primes so well and makes my makeup last for such a long time, and I love how hydrating it feels and cooling on my skin when I put it on. As you can see, I've already used quite a bit of it because for quite some time I was only using this to prime because I love it so much. I know Juicy Jazz talked about this a lot and she was the one that really got me interested in this, so thank you. And I love it, and now it's in my favorites as well. Next is foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation in 485. Tati talked about this and she absolutely loved it. And when I first got this, I absolutely loved it as well. And I put it down because I wanted to try other foundations. I picked it up recently and I have been loving it. It just looks flawless on your skin. You just look so airbrushed and I love it, and it lasts so long. Inexpensive as well. I mean, L'Oreal is kind of the more expensive drugstore brand, but I still love this so much. So I know you guys have seen that I absolutely love the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder, but I think I have officially found my new favorite face powder. So this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Face Powder in Banana. I believe I also got recommended from Ali Glines. Of course, I watch YouTube all the time. I'm on YouTube, and so all of my recommendations are from YouTubers. So every single one of these were probably recommended by a YouTuber, but I love this stuff and it's so inexpensive. Like, I think even less expensive than the Coty Airspun. And this just sets my makeup so beautifully and flawless. Like, it always just looks so airbrushed when I use this powder. Doesn't dry my skin out. A lot of the times when I set my under eye, the powder kind of just like really sticks there and kind of gets flaky, and I don't like it at all, but this doesn't do that. It's just inexpensive and it comes with so much product, so you can't go wrong with that. Really been loving this. I love testing out loose face powders now. I actually have several that I'm testing out right now, so this hasn't been used in a while, but I have been using it when I can here and there throughout the month and the last couple months since my last favorites video. One thing I've been really getting into is cream products, so cream contour, cream blush. I have two things for cream contour. I actually don't have products that are specifically for cream contour. I actually use concealers and stick foundations, which is what these two are. And I really wanted to do kind of an inexpensive type because I was just testing out if I even liked cream contour. So these two products are very inexpensive, and I just chose like a darker color than my own skin tone. So this is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I love this to put under my eyes as concealer already, so I thought I might as well get a darker color and contour with it. So this is in Deep Cinnamon, and I love it. I love the contour. It just blends out beautifully. I typically put it just on my hand and then dab it because you don't want to go in too hard or else you're going to have a harsh contour and you don't want that. I have really been loving this, and I've also really been loving the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation in Chestnut. This is just a darker color than my skin tone, and I also have been loving contouring with this. What I do is I take my brush and I just brush on top of here and then dab it on my hand so that it's not as concentrated, and then I go in on the cheek. And of course with contour you want to use an upwards motion, So I've really been loving cream contouring. If you guys have any suggestions on cream contours, please leave it down below, because obviously I've only been using darker concealers and foundations, and I would really love to try more contouring products because I've been loving it. I also love using cream products because it just lasts a lot longer on my skin, especially in the summer. It doesn't feel so powdery and cakey on my skin, so I've really been loving these two. And then, like I said, I have been loving cream contour, so I've also been loving cream blushes. I've tried several out since my last favorites video, but this is my favorite. This is the Honest Beauty Cream Chic Blush. I have two colors. I have Coral Peach and Rose Pink. So Coral Peach is definitely much more of a summery color, and this is just the classic Rose Pink color. I just love the look of cream blush, and so I just take my brush, dab it in here, dab it on my hand, and then just go ham on there. And I just love how it looks. It lasts all day, and obviously blush is of course the first one to leave your face. I love that this makes it last longer. I've really been loving these. I've actually tested out several more cream blushes. I would love to do like a cream blush ranking video, because I've tested out the Milani, the Physicians Formula, Flower Beauty cream blushes. I'd love to do like a ranking video to see which one is the best. So far this is the best. And of course, if you have any suggestions on cream blushes, please leave them down below, because I've really been getting into them. I also love regular blushes, so of course I had to put the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush. I actually have to like put this away because I will pick it up all the time, and I use it too often, and of course I have to give other blushes a chance. But this is just such a beautiful universal blush palette because it has so many different colors, and this like blush topper is so pretty. I love that you can mix them or just use one, and this Twilight shade right here, this peachy blush shade, of course I am so attracted to it. If you haven't picked this up already, I highly recommend it. I think it's still sold out, but once it comes back in stock, I say go ahead and get it. It's only $35, so $35 for 6 blushes is like less than $6 a blush, and I think that's crazy amazing. And of course I did a review on this, so I'll link it up there in the cards or down below. You could also use these blushes as eyeshadow, so it's a very universal palette. So I highly recommend it. I love it. It's beautiful. Don't sleep on it. I have also been loving highlight. I've actually always loved highlight. So this is the Revlon Skin Light Prismatic Highlighters, and this is in Twilight Gleam and Daybreak Glimmer. So Twilight Gleam is a little bit more of a champagne color, while Daybreak Glimmer is more of a icy champagne-y color. So I really love both of these. They both work for my skin tone. I've actually been using Twilight Gleam for several weeks. I only recently got Daybreak Glimmer. It doesn't emphasize texture. It sits on your skin perfectly. I actually have Daybreak Glimmer right now on my face. These are so beautiful. I just love how they melt into the skin and how blinding but still natural they look. I haven't liked many things from Revlon in a really long time, so when I heard some YouTubers talking about how great these are, I was like, okay, I'll test it out because I haven't liked many Revlon products recently. These are now some of my favorite highlighters, and I, again, have a hard time putting them down because I love them so much, but I have other highlighters to test out, so I've been trying to avoid them, but of course, that just means I love them, so they're my favorites. So some newer highlighters in my collection, but of course I've already fallen in love with them, are the Kokie Professional Soft Glow Highlighter. I have Gleaming, and I have Heavenly, and I have Rosy. So I only bought one of them, and then of course when I loved it I went back and bought more. The only one I don't have is the darkest one, but obviously that's not going to work for my skin tone, so I didn't pick it up. But these are so gorgeous. Again, doesn't emphasize texture. It doesn't sit on your skin. It melts into your skin beautifully. Texture is really interesting because it's kind of like not a powder but not a cream. So I really love these. They're just so pretty. They are sold at Rite Aid and also sold at Fred Meyer's. I would highly recommend them, and they're only like $6. Like, you can't go wrong with that at all. So now we are on to eye products. So I've been testing out a lot of eyeshadow palettes in the past couple months because I went on a eyeshadow palette spree during quarantine. I don't use the same palette every day. However, if I reach for it more than once or twice, then you know that it's a good one. So the one that I have been reaching for more often than not is the Melt Cosmetics Rust Palette. I purchased this during the Sephora VIB sale to get a little bit of a discount on it because this was the first palette that I tried from Melt. So I wanted to get one from at a discounted price just in case I didn't like it. But of course I fell in love with their formula. So I love that this palette just has a beautiful range of colors, and this Erode shade, the yellow shade, oh, I could not stop looking at that. This is kind of the real reason why I purchased this palette, but of course I love the whole thing. I love that you have so many mattes. So when I am just running out the door, I just want to put kind of like a crease shade or maybe even a deepening shade. This palette has everything because you can go in with 3 different transition shades, deepen it up with 3 different colors, put 3 beautiful shimmers on there, and then just pop this color on the brow bone and you're like set for good. I really love that this palette is just so easy and user friendly, and the mattes are just so buttery and blends out like a dream, and the shimmers are buttery and just look so beautiful on the eyelids. If you've been thinking about this palette, I highly recommend it. I think it is their best eyeshadow palette. So a lot of people would say that the Gemini is their best palette, but I actually think I like this one better. Definitely Gemini is number 2, but this one is definitely number 1 for me. I highly recommend it, and I've been using it a lot. Well, a lot more than my other eyeshadow palettes. Another Melt product that I love is the Melt Ultra Matte Gel Liner in Immortal. So I don't typically use eyeliner because my eyes are already small. So I've been trying to get into more liquid eyeliners and doing like wings and stuff. Purchased this during their little sale that they had during quarantine, and I just love how dark this looks on the eyes. The consistency is really weird because it's very creamy. Like, it's not like a regular gel liner, which I really like because this doesn't feel like it's going to dry out unlike all the other matte gel liners that I've used. And I love how dark it is and how easy it is to control. It's a beautiful product. So if you haven't tried any of their gel liners, I really recommend it. I have this one, a yellow one, and a pink one. I can't remember their names, but this is definitely my favorite out of those 3, and definitely a favorite that I've been loving. All right, so now we are on to some lip products. I have been loving lip liners. So the first lip liner I have is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner. I have Blushing, Bare, and Sugar and Spice. So these are the pencil lip liners, and I have also tried their retractable ones, but these ones are definitely more of my favorites. They're surprisingly creamier. I would think that the retractable one would be creamier, but these are definitely way more creamier, and I hate when lip liners snag and drag your lips. So I love creamy lip liners, and usually pencil liners would be the ones that kind of like snag and really dry out and hurt your lips, but these ones are not at all. And I love how pigmented and how easy it is to use. So here are some of the swatches, but I truly do love these lip liners, and they're only like $3 or $4 at Ulta, so like you can't go wrong with that at all. The next lip liner that I love are the NYX lip liners. I have so many of them, but I'll only swatch a couple because I don't want to bore you. I love these because they're also kind of like a pencil lip liner, but they're so creamy. For some reason I've been loving the pencil lip liners more than the retractable ones, and it's usually the other way around, but I found some really incredible pencil lip liners. So here's some of the swatches of those. So obviously not much different from the LA Girl. The NYX ones are more expensive than the LA Girl ones. I think these are like $5 or $6 maybe, so a little bit more expensive than the LA Girl, but there's definitely way more shades of these than the LA Girl one. So depending on what you're looking for and how much you want to spend, these two are really great. So Manny definitely hit it out of the park with the Moon Prism Blush Collection because these glosses, best, along with the blush. So obviously I really love the collection, and I'm so happy I bought the whole thing. These have easily become some of my favorite glosses ever. And of course, if you want to see the review on it, I will link it up here or down below. But these are just so beautiful, and they're not sticky. They're like a lip oil. As I've said in many videos, I am very picky with my lip glosses. So if I like a lip gloss, that's saying a lot. But these are just so beautiful, and I love the applicator, and I love the packaging. Like, I don't not like anything about them. They make your lips look so juicy and so plump. So I really have been loving these glosses. Like I've said with a lot of these other products, I actually have to put it away or else I'll just keep using it and I won't be testing out other products, which is, of course, this is what I love to do, and I want to give you guys new recommendations, so I have to try new products, so I always have to like put these somewhere else or else I'll keep reaching for them. But here are the 3 shades. I'm not sure if you can see it because they're glossy. They're so beautiful, so creamy, not sticky. I really recommend them. When they come back in stock along with the blush palette, definitely get your hands on it because you will not regret it. So the last lip product that I have is kind of like a tinted lip balm type of thing. So this is the Honest Beauty Tinted Lip Balm in Fruit Punch. I purchased this when I also purchased the blushes, and I love that this just gives you such a nice wash of color where it's not so pigmented. So if you're not wanting like this mass amount of color on your lips that a lipstick gives, this is perfect, and it's beautiful, and it's very hydrating. I'm very surprised because usually lip products like this, they can tend to be not as drying even though they're called a lip balm. And I love the sheer wash of color it gives. It's not too much, but it still gives you a little hint of it. So if you're like just running out the door and you don't want to spend time really outlining your lips, you can just put this on and you're good to go. And it's glossy and beautiful. So. All right, guys, so those are all of my favorites from the past couple months, even though I'm calling it June favorites. If you like anything that I like, or if you have any recommendations on what to try, especially cream bronzers and cream blushes, just leave them down below because I love testing out new things for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe so that you can be notified the next time I upload a video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.